Hello and welcome to another Android tutorial. This is tutorial number 8. This tutorial we finally build our first actually functional app, our functional activity. This is a continuation from 5, 6, and 7 using the techniques we learned in those 3 activities to build a list that can save contents to a list and edit them and put them back in. Let's go ahead and look at our code. You'll see right here in the top, we've got a list index. This will be used later. This tracks for editing purposes, whether or not a list entry is new or not. We'll go down here. This is all pretty much the same. The only difference is here, when we on-click listener, we actually have some different code here. This is what allows us to update versus insert a new item in our index. And this is our little maintenance call here that sets our index back to -1 at the end after the data has either been added or set into our list. Down here, if you go to the fancy adapter, which we've used before, you can see pretty much everything is the same, except in our holder now, our holder, which has this note object, which is a text view. The note now gets an on-click listener added. That on-click listener pulls the tag, using it, which is the position. We set the index to that position. That's what we use to later reinsert the data. Then we call this my edit text. We get it from ID. That's our edit box. And then we refill the contents of the edit box with the note from our list object. And then down here, you can see this is all pretty much the same. The only difference here, we set a tag on the note element, which is our position. And then we actually have a position object that we don't use, but this is also a way of storing the position in the holder as well. And so for some circumstances, it might actually be better, rather than setting the object on the tag, setting it in the position. We're not actually going to use this line in this example. This is just an example of how it might actually be a better technique than setting the integer as a tag on the note element. Now, if you're going to do this, if you're going to use your on-click on your note element, which is your text view, you're going to want to make sure that your text view has fill parent on width. And the reason being is if you don't, if you make an entry in your list view that's empty, for an example here, go add test. This second one, that's empty. If that text view didn't have fill parent for width, I would not be able to click on this and get it to edit, which I can do here. So as you can see, I can add them. If I go back to edit, I can edit it. It goes and changes it. New to do item. Edit. Goes back into the list. So that's a very basic activity that actually works, actually using the 3 techniques that we learned about in our previous 3 episodes. And this is an example of what you can do with those 3 techniques. I'm going to be moving on to a different topic in the next few videos, but if anyone has any questions, feel free to put a comment down below, give us a like. You can also hit me on Twitter if you got something you'd like to see or a sample. And as always, all this is up on the GitHub if you want to pull this down and take a look at it and play with it and see what you come up with. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.